guys, this is So What If, and don't really know what to call this What If, but it's more gonna be kind of lighthearted, because I've done a lot of dark ones, and I'm gonna do kind of a lighthearted one. So this is a kind of romance one that I'm gonna try to do in one shot. So yeah, sorry not for not recording in a week, and also I'm going to try to start streaming at night, like 1 a.m. 12 to 1 a.m. So yeah, because I can stream now. The reason I'm not doing it during the day is because background noise and everything. So, I don't really know how to say the first part of the anime name, but the quintuplet anime with, the 5 girls. Have you seen it? I don't really know how to say the first part, and I'm gonna butcher it, like I just said butcher wrong. Did I? Did I don't know, but we're recording this like 2:30, so in like 12 hours I'm gonna record, well, not record, but stream. So yeah, and this guy, I don't remember how to say his name exactly, so I'm just gonna call him Few, because I cannot say his name right. And if I did, and if I tried to, it's just gonna be a whole mess. And also, um, Deku's gonna look like this, but imagine flat hair covering one of his eyes. That's what Deku looks like. Still green hair, still green eyes. But those headphones minus the cat ear part, that's Deku. So I'm gonna get into backstory right now. So when Deku was 8, his mother died. Now there's not Few's gonna be stepbrothers with Deku. So after Inko's death, which I'm sad for doing that, Deku got adopted into Few's family. Now, I want to say Few's mother died around when he was 12. Nah, not 12, I want to say 10. And they were rich back then. Well, middle class at least, because they had both of their parents, so they both could get money. Meaning that they lived a pretty good life, meaning that they adopted Deku. Also, forgot to say Deku's quirk. Deku's quirk is a tech quirk, meaning that, say, you could take a old laptop and make it into a phone, or you could make a laptop into a TV or something like that. Imagine that kind of stuff. He's smart when it comes to tech stuff, but like anything else, no. Science is the one thing he's good at, because that's where tech comes from, science. So, Infuse quirk is an IQ 1, half of Nezu's. Imagine Nezu's quirk, but half of that. So still very smart. And he still studies a lot. Fuse still studies a lot. Oh fuck, I forgot to get some water. I probably need to get some water, but I'm not gonna get water now. I'm gonna go through everyone's quirk. Now, Fuse's little sister, don't know how to say her name either, but she's a good one. best little sister I've ever seen. Now, her quirk is a cooking quirk. Imagine Gordon Ramsay's without the cussing. So, she still can make really good food out of pretty much cheap stuff. Now, I'm not going to tell you who Best Girl is in this show, but I'm going to butcher some of the names, some of them I am not. Now, Ichika, think I'm saying that right? 5% of All Might. Nino's quirk, IQ, but she never studied, so she barely passed, meaning that she still needs tutoring. Now, Miku is not going to have a quirk. Because, first of all, middle child, also, ship. That's pretty obvious. Yatsuba, now, she's have 10% of All Might. Because she actually trained her body. Since she's all the sports girl, she's a sports girl, she actually trained her body, meaning that she has more percent. What did I say, more percent? Well, more strength. Now, Itsuka's quirk is the same as Nino's. They're exact same. Now, I know Itsuka, I don't know if I'm saying it right or wrong, but yes, she did study, but barely. And also, Deku's gonna have common sense when it comes to people, because his Inko always told him to respect others, be kind, because that's Inko. And also, Deku's pretty much emotionless, except for a few when he's around friends and stuff. I think that's enough backstory. Also, UA is gonna be a college. I forgot one more thing. I forgot. So Deku was not respected because people didn't think he had a strong quirk. They were saying, "Oh, that's weak. That only could do money stuff like that." But tech also goes to um, hacking and stuff, so it's actually very strong. Uh, okay, so UA college. Also, Bakugo's gonna be in the high school, of course, because I want to still implement some of MHA in there. Probably won't go up to to college, but Bakugo's gonna be in there, and Nino. Think about it. Nino likes blonde. What? I'm confused. What I'm saying. Delinquents, blonde delinquents. She likes them, so pretty obvious that they're gonna get together. Okay, so we're gonna start out Deku, and Deku doesn't see stuff in he doesn't see stuff in money, but Few does. So Few's like, uh, I'm just called Deku Deku just because I can. Like, so Few says, Deku, that's too much. That's a lot of money. You just wasted there. Deku's like, okay, I can make some in like a few days pretty easily just by making a phone. You can sell it and boom. So Deku normally sits on the roof, and Fuse sits at lunch in the lunchroom. So same thing happened with Few, but so Deku went up to the roof. Same thing happened with a Few and Itsuki, yeah, Itsuki I think. I don't know if I'm saying her name right or wrong, but Deku went up to the roof and his normal spot where he sits, somebody was sitting there. And if you haven't guessed it already, it's Miku. Pretty obvious, actually. Boom, Miku. Have it for the ship. I'm not telling you who Best Girl is. I'm telling you for the chip. Chip? Yeah. So, Deku normally sits where Miku is sitting, and he normally just listens to music, and goes on his phone, listening to music, playing games, stuff like that. Now, Miku was doing the same thing. So Deku just decided to sit next to her and go on his makeshift phone and play games. And his headphones are on, listening to music. Miku didn't notice him. I don't know what game Deku would be playing, but he would be playing some kind of action game or something like that. So after a little bit, Miku noticed him. So Miku tapped Deku on his shoulder. Deku took his headphones off. Deku said, "Yeah," and she asked, Why are you sitting next to me?" Like in a shy voice, because she doesn't really talk to people. Deku somewhat talks to people, but he's still kind of emotionless, so. Deku says, "I normally sit there, but eh, I just sit next to the spot where I sit." And they started talking, and the thing came up. What is your quirk? That's the thing Miku asked. Because instead of Deku being the quirk one, it's Miku since she doesn't have a quirk, so. But she only takes notes on heroes, but and never studies in class because she's always taking notes on heroes. I mean, she still needs tutored. Deku says, "Oh, mine's a tech quirk. I'm able to pretty much make anything, like say a computer or something, into a phone, or vice versa." And then Deku asks, "What is your quirk?" Miku was hesitant to say her quirk, but she finally said she's quirkless. Deku said, okay, that's fine." Miku was surprised because no one's acted like this, because most people don't have common sense. Even the quirkless are still people. So Miku asks, why don't you care?" Deku is like, "Cause I was raised from like since I was born a to respect people even if they're quirkless." And then yeah, So, end of lunch came. Also, their name got brought up, like, I'm Miku, I'm Deku, all that kind of stuff. Deku doesn't really pay attention in class except science and maybe math, so he barely passes in math. So, Deku sees the surprised face when, Itsuka comes in. So Deku asked, why does he have that surprised face? And Few says that he met her at lunch and explains what happened. Deku's like, I did meet someone that looked like her at the roof, well, with different colored hair, because he can tell apart by the hair colors and stuff like that, and how they act. That's how he's gonna be able to know who's who. So Deku just went back to his phone, just looking at stuff, and that's when Fuse and Deku's little sister called. Mostly called Few because he's the smart one. So, um, Few said that it's their little sister. So, Deku and Few went outside the classroom, and because I would say this is kind of the end of the day, I would say like this is a break period. So, Deku and Few asked what's up, pretty much, and Few's little sister pretty much said exactly the same thing in canon. That they needed, like, uh, these rich people need a tutor and stuff like that. So, after school, Few asks Deku if he wants to come because Deku is the science person. Few can pass science, but like he can get hundreds, but Deku gets like hundreds and twenties in science. You know, ask how that's possible? It just is. So, let's switch over back to Deku. So Deku and Few go there, and Deku is just looking through his phone, looking at playing games and stuff. And Deku, well, Few and Deku run into Itsuki. I can't say her name still. So Deku already does know the room number because of Few's little sister telling them. So when Few and um, Itsuki running around, Deku just goes up to the floor calmly. And then honestly, he gets the wrong floor just so the same thing can go on, like same kind of reaction. And the same reaction does happen. So Deku says, "Oh, I got the wrong floor." So Deku's just going up the elevator, and like the quintuplets are there at the top. Miku just being quiet, you know, normal self. Ichika, normal self. Everybody normal self except Miku, just being quiet and in the back. So Deku and Few get up there at the same time. Few all sweaty because he was running up the stairs and stuff. Deku not because he doesn't really care. Because he was just taking the elevator up and down. So Deku and Few get up there and they see the quintuplets. The 5 of them, Miku just in the back. So um Yatsuba, well, no. So they see the 5 of them, and Deku not that shocked because it kind of makes sense because he heard of these 5 girls, the quintuplets, and they were moving. So he's like, makes sense that they would move here. Kind of makes sense that they would move here. And the score is pretty much horrible. And if you're saying like what and stuff, because he doesn't know, since he doesn't have common sense when it comes to people. Yeah, Deku does. Deku just bows and says, "Hello, we'll be your tutors." And I want to say Deku's older than Few by a few months, so Deku just pretty much grabs Few and bows and said, "We'll be your tutors for until the end of the school year." And Miku says hi to Deku, just in a shy, quiet voice. Deku says hi to Miku, making Miku happy. And the other 4, I want to say except Yatsuba, because she's all cheerful and everything, but she just ignores Miku. So the 3, Ichika, Nino, and Itsuka say, "Why are you talking to a quirkless loser?" Deku just pretty much remarks and says, "Because I have common sense. Respect people who respect you." And who doesn't know that Miku's quirkless, so and I'll say if you didn't hear that, so minus the quirkless part, so I forgot, yeah, no, I didn't forget to say, Fuse quirk. How long have I been going? Around 20 minutes? Not bad. Not bad. So, Deku and just go in. Everybody's ignoring Deku minus Miku. So, now Miku doesn't mind having to study, but they don't study around the other girls in Few. Because Few knows that she's quirkless, doesn't like Few. Not wait, what? No. Few, now knowing Miku is quirkless, is not liking Few. Miku. Few doesn't like Miku. And I mean that, like, friends. Like, he doesn't even like her as a friend. So, Deku and Miku study up in Miku's room because that's the only other place where they wouldn't get not ignored, but annoyed. So, Deku's teaching Few stuff. And, Deku pretty much, like, Miku is pretty good at cooking because she didn't get any food, so she had to cook for herself. And Deku's a really good cooker because when Few's little sister's not around, Deku has a cook. So Deku's a good cook. So after maybe like 3-4 hours, um, don't call that number. Sorry, my friend was calling me about something. So honestly, after like 3 hours of them studying, Deku and Miku pretty much both say they're hungry. So they go down and start cooking because both good cookers. So I'm gonna say Few. Yes, Few is going to ask why did he oh uh, teach pretty much teach Miku, tutor Miku, and why is he cooking with her? Deku's saying that um like because just because she's quirkless doesn't mean she's a person. Because I'm saying in this world only 5% are quirkless because the 20% in the anime doesn't make sense. Because then a lot of people would not have quirks. So I'm saying only 5%. So Deku goes and Deku and Miku both go and cook some food. And after that, they go back to studying. No, Few still gets drugged. Few still gets drugged. Deku doesn't. Yeah, Few does pretty much get drugged, knocked out. And so Deku said it's time for him to go home. I would say this was a few hours later after Few got drugged and dropped off. So Itsuka is back at the house. I would say really late at night. So Deku goes back home. He has to sneak out because everybody's sleeping except Miku. So Deku gets back home And I want to say Few's little sister also has common sense when it comes to people. I gotta write this down real quick. Sorry. I have my computer out writing stuff down. Okay, cool. I wrote it down. Okay, so Deku goes home, and Few's father asks where he was, because it's like 12 at night right now, and Deku said he was tutoring someone that Few wouldn't tutor. So Few's father says okay, and just tells him to come in and go to sleep, and exactly what they do. But I do want to say they have a little bit of bigger house. Let me check this text messages real quick. Text message. Okay, I checked it. Okay, so they pretty much go to sleep. Next day, school. I want to say this is the beginning of their third year in high school. No, I don't know what year Japan high schools go up to. Let me check. What years do Japan high go to? Okay, so 3 years. So they're in third year. I was thinking I was right, but need to check and make sure. So beginning of the third year. So Deku and Few have grown distant because one simple thing: common sense and respect when it comes to people right now. So Few and Deku are distant. So after school they go and Deku tutors Miku and Few tutors everybody else. Deku and Miku got closer. Not the point of dating, but when somebody brings it up, they both blush. That's the point they're up to. No, I don't remember half of the story, even though I just watched it the other day. So I'm gonna make up most of this. I remember some stuff, but most of it I don't. So Deku and Deku, I want to say, since they haven't been studying that much because of most of the people in the back, meaning Ichika, Nino, Yatsuba, and Itsuka, and Few. Not Few, minus Few because he's not loud. But everybody else is. So, Deku says, we should go over to my house because it's really quiet over there. And that's what they pretty much do. Now, Deku is blushing, walking over there because she's never been over to his house. Plus, she has a crush. Now, since Deku doesn't talk to most people, he's blushing because, first of all, he's nervous, and second of all, crush. So, Deku grabs a key, has his key, and he, opens the door. Really nail on her name. I need to practice Fuse's little sister's name real quick. Give me a second. Okay, I'm just gonna call Fuse's little sister Raw. I know, I can't say names. I can remember the first few anime names I learned from the first few animes I've watched, but that's it. Don't ask why, it's just that. So, Deku knocks on, opens the door, and, Ra comes running, hugs, Deku, and Ra asks, who's she? And Deku says, oh, we're just gonna study here because I'm tutoring her, since Fuse not. And then Ra's head goes to dating, that they're dating. So she asks, are you two dating? They both blush, both say no. So, they study. Deku takes Miku back home. So, Deku takes Miku back home, and then they have that security door now. So, and they didn't give Miku the key. So meaning Miku had to sleep at Deku's house. I don't think they're not as poor, and they actually have rooms. And no, I don't know what you're thinking. No, they're not going to do it. So, Deku and Deku and Miku, uh, I want to say they have a extra futon, which is pretty much beds that you lay on the ground, if you didn't know that. So, yeah. Deku, I would say that Miku couldn't sleep, so, because I would say she had a nightmare about her sisters, I wouldn't say beating her, but laughing at her. So, uh, Miku wakes Deku up, and she asks in a shy voice if she could sleep with him. Well, not like that, but yeah, pretty much like that. Pretty much sleep in the bed, because she had a bad dream. Deku blushing and saying yes. And they both went to sleep cuddling. This is where I would end a what if, but I'm not, because it's going to be I'm trying to make this a one shot. Even though I've been going for almost an hour, I'm gonna try to go a little bit quicker. So, Deku and Few go and they wake up, they blush because they realize they slept in the same bed, and they went out and got some breakfast. Now, was gonna go in, Ra did go into Deku's room to wake him and Miku up because it was breakfast, but she saw them cuddling, sleeping, whatever you want to call it. But so then she just left them sleep, and this is when Ra made fun of them, kind of, yeah, pretty much, like pretty much saying uh like I saw you two cuddling last night. Well, this morning, and they both blush. So I'll say Few's still sleeping. So Few wakes up a few minutes later, and I want to say Few asks why Quirkless is at their house right now. Deku standing up for Miku, pretty much saying that it doesn't matter that she's quirkless, it matters that she has respect for people. That's all that really matters. And Raw is doing the same thing because she has common sense. Their dad not really caring. So, Deku, they all went to school. And oh, I'm just making a story. I'm just making up a story as I go. So all this is just made up from my head. So Deku, Few, and Miku. Few is going to tutor the other girls, while Deku's gonna tutor Miku again. Since Miku wasn't there, they just Deku pretty much hacked into the system, just opened the doors real quick. Asking why he didn't do that before, because he wasn't thinking about it, since it was so late at night. So, Deku just hacked into the system, and said get in there quickly, and so they did. They went up to whatever room they were on, and they got in there. Now, this would be one of the nights where they'd all stay. So, Deku and Few, not Deku and Miku, studying up in her room, while the rest were studying with Few. Well, most of them were. So, yeah. So, Deku and so I want to say this is around 12 to 1 now. So they went down, made some food, went back up, played games, because I want to say some kind of old games, because Miku doesn't get money from her sisters or anything like that, because no, like, they don't like her. So Deku, so few, not few, Miku works. Sorry, my phone turned off. Um, I don't know where I last stopped, but I think I don't know when my phone turned off. Okay, so Deku, this is the doors now. Deku opened the doors, hacking into the system, because Miku doesn't have a card to go in there. So Deku, Miku, and Few go up to the floor. Deku and Miku studying in her room while Few's trying to get the rest to study. I want to say at the time from 12 to 1, Deku and Few studied on science, tech, and games and stuff. So Deku and Few pretty much studied, and then from 12 to 1, made some food, went back upstairs, and then they started playing some games. Because Deku makes her take some tests, and she passed all of them. So Deku, so Few works for her stuff because her sisters don't give her any money, meaning that Few works a job to earn money. Now Deku does have a job too, so yeah. So Deku and Few play games all night, and um, Miku falls asleep on Deku's shoulder, and Deku falls asleep too. And when they wake up, they realize they were cuddling all night again. Now I'm just gonna skip to the summer camp trip. So now Ra got sick. Now I'm gonna do some bullshit type stuff and say Deku can convert like um energy and stuff into stamina. I know, that's bullshit. So yeah, that's how you know when my mouth's dry. I don't know why I haven't gotten any water, just haven't. So Deku, if you stay a little bit late, they were late because Ra was sick. Now they went to get a few, and none of them wanted to get Deku because they didn't like Deku since he talked to the quirkless like they're normal people. So they went to the limo. Now Deku's not really freaking out that they're in a limo or anything, but Few is. Miku's not because she's been in a limo multiple times. So yeah. So Deku Deku and Fu fall asleep on each other, so nobody was paying attention to them, so yeah. Minus Fu. Fu was seeing this and like, why does he like a cordless? Why does he like him? Like her? Like, he's just confused right now. Like, he's just asking the question, like, why does he like her? So, after a little while, they get to the pit stop, pretty much halfway through the trip, and they get to the cabin, and Few pulls out cards. Um, Ichika, Nino, Yatsuba, and Itsuki play the cards with Few, but Deku and Miku don't. They play a different game. So Deku. So same thing happens. Um, yeah, with Few. Same thing. Same things happen. They're all sleeping in the same room. Actually, this time, Few and Deku both have a lucky charm. Pretty much a luck charm from Raw. It's true, yeah. So Deku and Miku don't realize that, but they cuddled at night without realizing it. They didn't even know they were, but they just were. And same thing happened with Few and Ichiki. Ichikai. Ichikai? Yeah, I think I'm saying her name right. So, Deku, Deku and Miku wake up and realizing they were cuddling. Both blush. Because, first of all, they haven't made official they're dating, but also not dating at the same time. So, they get to the camp. Now, it was for the um scaring thing. The scarers, pretty much who set it up, were Deku, Miku, Few, and Yatsuba. So they all Deku sets up like lights to flicker, smoke machines and everything, since he can do all that kind of stuff. So after that, they start scaring. It's night where they scared everybody. Same thing as what happened. Now, Bakugo would be there, so Nino and Bakugo would do that. And also, Few got everybody's phone number except Miku's. Deku got Miku's. And Miku got Deku's. Pretty obvious. So, yeah. Is that recording? Yes, cool. Switch over to Miku. So, Deku. So, Nino and Bakugo went in to the thing and both got scared. But Deku not Deku. Bakugo not screaming. Same thing from from MHA, like like Bakugo and Todoroki just froze instead of actually screaming or anything. So yeah. So Deku is like laughing, which he rarely ever does, because Deku got to see Bakugo's face because he was scared. Bakugo says, "Damn you, Deku, setting up all this shit and everything like that." Now Bakugo doesn't really mess with Deku that much, so Miku was like asking, like just confusing, like, who's that? Deku's like, just someone I don't really like. So after that, Deku, they kept scaring people. And now, ski time. Same thing happens, pretty much. They're including, Miku and Deku because they think they're weak. But since Deku can convert energy into stamina, he can pretty easily not outsmart, but outlast them. Not them, but Yatsuba. Because she has the most stamina, she's the most athletic, so yeah. So, they start. Miku found the igloo, and then Deku found the igloo. So they're both in there and hiding. Now the same thing that happened to they Fu and Ichika, that they get stuck in the shed. And that happened too. So Deku and Mi- Deku and Miku both are in there hiding, trying to get warm. And Miku puts her head on Deku's shoulder because she's tired from everybody, because she had to run, ski real quick because she didn't know where to go, and plus she doesn't have that much stamina. Deku does, so she's tired, and she pretty much falls asleep on Deku's shoulder. Now, Yatsuba, she just ignores Miku and Deku. She doesn't hate them, she just ignores them. So yeah. How long have I been recording? Holy shit. Okay, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up pretty soon. And because this is gonna be pretty wrapped up pretty soon, so Deku and Miku both are asleep in there. Now, Yatsuba got everybody else except Miku and Deku because she couldn't find them. Now, she's wondering where they're at. So she starts looking around. And after a while, she finally finds them. And they're just cuddling, sleeping, whatever you want to call it, in the igloo, pretty much, because it's actually warm in there. So, Yatsuba just let him sleep. So, comes night, they wake up, bonfire's going on, and the bonfire with the myth, like, oh, whoever you hold hands with at the end of the music is you're gonna be forever together, whatever you want to call it. and Deku asks if she wants to dance with him. Yep. So they do in a quiet area, but they still can hear the music. So when they stop, yeah. So yeah. So music ended. They were holding hands, and that's when they started dating and everything. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna end it. So hope you enjoyed. Also, I'm gonna stream tonight. I hope most of you come. I'm gonna stream Bed Wars because I'm pretty okay at it. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a party of in fours, like 3 people to get to play at a time. So yeah. So hope you enjoyed, and bye.